All right, let me go in here. I'm going to answer some questions. Again, if you have a question, don't be shy. Just type it in there, and I'll do my absolute best to try to answer all the questions. And I see that I've got a lot of questions in there. All right, let me see. Soccer asked this: do you recommend contacting expireds in person or on the phone first? Sometimes you don't have control over that, Soccer. You can't control if they're going to answer the phone, so you don't know. What I recommend is that you don't so much focus on which way do you reach them, but try to reach them all ways. Send the letters, do the calls, and if you call them and they don't answer or you can't find their number, don't spend a lot of time on it. Just put them on the drive-by list. It's the easiest of all. All right? Good question, though. See, I got hello, Bruce, and Richard, and Karen, and Jim, and Michael. I'm trying to scroll down to the questions. Thanks, Harold. That sounds really, you're enriched and encouraged. How long would you recommend to follow up with expireds who's not ready to list? Natalia, I don't think people admit that they're ready to list or not. And I think maybe when you talk to them and they say, well, we're not ready to do anything yet, what you think you're hearing and what you're really hearing are two different things. People tend to procrastinate. When they tell you they're not ready to list, instead of trying to talk them into listing and then wondering how long to follow up until they list, give them a reason why they might want to consider doing it sooner. So what they say to you is, we're taking a break, we're not going to list. And they tell you they're going to wait a couple of months. What they didn't tell you is why they want to wait. And truth is, the reason why doesn't matter. Most agents stop there, though. They never find out why. And when I ask them why do they want to wait, they tell me because they think the market's going to get better. My question to them, to you, would be, if they knew something different, would they still wait? I mean, really and truly, if you knew that things were going to go downhill, would you wait? If you knew that things were going to get bad, would you wait? I don't know that they will. I don't know that they won't. But if I thought they might, then they'd probably want to do something sooner. But don't make it to where they only meet with you to list their house. Meet with them and explain to them how it's going to really hurt them if they wait. That's what I would recommend. Natalia also says that she likes to use the I'll sell your home in so many days guarantee. I love those. When I was an active agent, I used to do I did a couple of things. One was I would buy your house if I can't sell it. I see other variations of that where it says, I will reduce my fee if I don't sell it, or I will charge you nothing if I don't sell it. None of those really hurt you, and the reason why is this. If I looked at someone's house and I explained to them exactly how my criteria works, that if I'm going to buy it, it has to be at a particular benefit to me. If I said if I can't sell it, it's only because it didn't price right. But why would you take a listing that isn't going to sell? But it isn't the listing that's going to sell. It's the people who will do what you tell them to do. So my criteria was never about the house. It was always about the people. We get so stuck on houses and prices, we forget about the people factor. If I'm going to take a listing with someone who's stubborn and just really won't do anything I tell them to do, I'm an idiot. Why would I do that? Because remember, who takes all the risk in this game? It's not the homeowner, it's you. So Robert, when you take an overpriced listing, who's got more skin in the game, you or them? Well, you think they do because it's their house. But no, they don't. If you want to prove me wrong, here's what I would say. Go back to them and say, okay, give me a non-refundable marketing deposit, and I'll let it sit out there for as long as you want. And now watch how quick they take advantage of you having skin in the game. Agents have more skin in the game, and as a result, they really feel and treat it all. They deal with it all backwards. See, I got in here. Thank you, Paola. Rav. Hello, Scott. Nice. How do you get the letters? If you don't have the letters, it's either because I haven't sent them to you or because you don't have the expired listing toolkit. So one easy way to get the letters is go to www.expiredlistingtoolkit. Colin asked this question. He says, I'm going to relist with the same agent. I'm going to take a break for a while. What would you respond to these objections? Well, the only reason, Colin, that they tell you they're going to list with the same agent is they think you're there to list their house. So I don't get that because I wouldn't say I'm there to list their house. I know that you probably think to yourself, well, they're telling you that on the phone because that's what they're going to do. But here's some qualifying questions that you might throw at them just to sort of have some fun. And let's just say that they tell you that and, you're at their door and they say, well, we're going to list with the same agent. That same agent's the agent that has successfully not been able to sell their house, right? Now, I don't want to slam the agent because I'm slamming them by slamming the agent. But instead of slamming the agent, ask this qualifying question. Would you still go with that agent if you knew for a fact that you'd end up with the same results? See what they say. And then try this one. Would you still go with that agent if you know that that agent was actually going to cost you twice as much as anyone else? Now, that's usually the one that gets them, and here's how it gets them. The word cost and the word charge, two different things. The word cost is the culmination or the accumulation of all the expenses. When someone hires you as an agent, the cost is different than what you charge. You might charge 7% commission, but your cost is going to be how much they end up with, minus 100%. Now, compare that to another company, and it's really easy to prove that they cost more than you do. So when someone says they're going to do something, just ask them without attacking them a simple question. Robert asks, is a marketability scorecard, it's an objective evaluation of home without all the drama. Absolutely right. You don't have to attack them. Michael in Mass, hi Scott, you keep mentioning broker's fee. I'm a real estate agent, not a broker. I can justify a higher percentage. My broker charges a lesser fee. Michael, it's for comparison's sake. I mean, I think what you're saying is really your broker charges a lower fee than you do. Fine. You know, you have to be able to sell your company before you can sell you. If I'm with a company that, let's say that they charge 5% commission, but I charge 7%, the company has a performance of its own. I have a performance within that company. But you've got to make sure that the homeowner doesn't get lost in the explanation. So if you say, well, you know, you got the big company down the street, you got the other big company, and then you got this company that cuts their commission down, and you do the analysis to show that in the end they'll end up with less money hiring any of those people. If they hire someone from your company, they should end up with the second most money, and if they hire you, they should end up with the most. So I hope that made sense. Peace in Philadelphia. Hi, Scott. Send a weekly letters to the same seller. What if by the time second or subsequent seller is hiring our agent? Well, Peace is asking a technical question, and the technical question is, well, Scott, if I've got 5 letters to send them, what if by the 3rd letter they've relisted? Well, I mean, you have to prepare for things like that, but don't overthink it. That's why every one of the letters at the bottom, it says, look, I'm really sorry. If you've relisted your house or you've listed with a new agent, please accept my apologies. I'm in no way soliciting your list. I mean, it says it right there. And the language in the letters is pretty clear. I'm not trying to get a listing. I'm just asking information, and if they don't respond to the information and they keep getting the letters, I mean, you can't get mad at someone who does continuous marketing. Unfortunately, in the real estate business, most agents don't do anything like that. You know, they send one letter, boom, done. And, you know, if they were all as effective as this, then, well, you know, there'd be more agents out there doing stuff. Tom, you're very welcome. Does what? Tom says, thanks for presentation. Does it come with a contact manager database email campaign? I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I know what contact management is. I know what database is. I know what email campaign is. No. Here's what the toolkit comes with. There are letters. They're in Word. And if you know how to merge with an Excel spreadsheet, then you could just enter the information into your Excel spreadsheet and merge it into your letters and print all the letters. If you don't know how to do that, my recommendation is that you just type the names and addresses in, because you only put your name in once and then you have to do it again. So at the very worst, you're going to have to type in their name and address and then copy and paste it into the other letters, and you're done. You don't have to know anything about anything. Very, very, very easy. Let me see what I got. Yes, Robert. In fact, we got overwhelmed on the role play partner, so I've started picking up some of the slack there. And Celia says this. She's in New Jersey. In my office, we're taught to only prospect expires by phone. Some sellers don't give their number. Letters are good for those sellers who do not provide their numbers. Okay. Celia, I would just say this. I can't tell you which is always the best. That's why I try to do all ways. You know, if you send letters and you're getting no response on letters and you're making calls and you're doing drop-ins, you know, where you go to their door, you're going to find that sometimes one will work and the other one won't, and then sometimes you'll find that they all work. And that's really the bonus, is when they all work. That's kind of cool when that happens, I think. So, you know, if your broker says the only way to do it is to call, then by all means call. You know, I think that's probably not the best or the only way. I mean, I think calling is good, but if you can't reach them, then what are you going to do then? Just give up. So try something else. And Patsy, if you have a challenge, just send me an email. And Robert, I think I answered your question. And any kind of a difficulty with expired listing toolkit, by all means, let me know, and I will make sure. It may be that there's too many people on it right now. Sometimes it gets a little bit bogged down. If that's the case, that's great. But just give it a minute, or if you just don't have the time, send me the information. I'll take care of it manually. Ideally, though, you do go through the process, and you'll find that it does work, because I'm looking right now. And go to www.expiredlistingtoolkit now. Don't wait. Run. Thanks to everybody for being here, and thanks for those of you that are listening to the recording, and thanks for spending the time, and thanks for those comments. Please, please, please keep an eye out for your messages, and in your own areas, in your own markets. If you find that there's a place that's looking for a very enthusiastic, very exciting, very informative, unique delivery style workshop, keep me in mind. Send me an email. Make sure that I come in early enough so that we can go have dinner. That's usually what I love to do the most, is to go spend time with my students. Robert, you really do need to get me down there. Oh, I have 2 more questions. See, I got Tom says, enjoy this. I know Tom. Tom actually knows Sue Nelson. Do you take no for an answer? Tom's asking this, and the question is, when do you take no for an answer? Usually no is my interpretation of the kind of people I want to work with versus the kind of people I don't want to work with. So if I call someone and I don't know what's happening on the other end of the phone, it may very well be that they're kind of grumpy. But it could be because I interrupted them. Maybe they just got in a fight with their spouse. Maybe their kids just got arrested. Who knows? So I give prospects the benefit of the doubt. If I meet with them and they're stubborn and they won't do anything I tell them to do, I'm going to get up and get out. So I would never work with someone I didn't want to work with, and I'd only work with people that would do what I told them to do. So that's my answer, Tom. Lloyd asked this, how do you get around the do not call list? Lloyd, the do not call list, it's real easy to get around. You don't have to. Just don't pester people. But when it comes to calling expireds, every state has a different specific, a little bit more interpretation. But here's the part that I find amazing. The only people who are going to do anything, because you can accidentally call anybody once. The only people that are going to get mad are the people that you annoy. Don't annoy anybody. That way you don't have a problem. I'm not saying break the law, but over on the FSBO side of things, I teach agents all the time to call, because the fact that they are on the do not call list doesn't prohibit you from calling them. It prohibits you from soliciting business from them. And by the way, Lloyd, if you're calling someone and you're not soliciting business, then I guess you're really not violating the do not call. But I don't want to have your broker come back and hit me and say, hey, he's teaching our agents to break the law, because that's not really what I'm trying to do. It's just not the way I do it. All right, so I got Lloyd in L.A., I got Tom in L.A., I think I got the rest of these, and it looks like I still have about 1 more minute left. Yes, hold on, let me see if I've got that right. Lloyd, Dan, Tom, Robert, Patsy, Celia, thanks all of you guys for your questions. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me. Ronaldo and Chris and Troy and Hillary and everyone else that's been here. You guys, it looks like you've stuck it out pretty long, and I still have a whole bunch of you on there. I'm just now trying to get back to the questions to see if I've got them all, and I think I did. I promise you, Dan, if something happens, that I'll make sure that you get the right number, but you may have to just email me and mail me directly, Scot Kenkel, ScotKenkel @gmail. That's the easiest way, and thanks, everybody. I think I've got it. We're finished. I'm going to wrap it up, get us out of here. I'm going to go take my dog for a walk because he's waiting for me to feed him. Poor guy. He waits so long for me. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Have a great night, and most of all, happy learning.
The conference is now